Hey Kiwi Kids, it's Deb, and do I have a story for you? Nothing much changed for me at school. I still spent most of my time in the principal's office for stuff that wasn't my fault. But the weekends were different. Weekends meant the figs and spending time with Tom and Johnno in the treehouse. Even hanging around Usher wasn't so bad as long as I could resist the urge to push him out the window. Not once did Tom or even his parents go crook at me for wrecking the treehouse. I took down the boards I'd broken and pulled out the bent nails. The boards we couldn't reuse were burned in the campfire. We sat round it and Tom and Johnno, Usher, talked about all kinds of stuff. It was nice. Tom's mum even made us damper to cook in the ashes. The weekend after that, I helped replace the timber frame with a wooden pallet I dragged all the way from the fruit and veggie shop. I pulled it apart board by board and passed each one up to Johnno and Tom, who nailed them in place. And then Usher would check their work with a level. I helped flatten the tin I'd kicked in and nailed it back onto the frame. And I found other stuff for the treehouse. Old cushions from my back veranda. I was pretty sure my mum didn't want them anymore. And wooden crates to use as shelving. I always brought food to share, even though Usher thought I got it shoplifting. You blokes should thank me, I said one day. Thank you for what, bro? Said Johnno. For wrecking the old treehouse, I said. This new one is heaps better. Does that mean we can look forward to a demolished treehouse every time you think of an improvement? Asked Usher. Anything to make you happy, Usher. For the third time, Usher checked his watch. Well, I'd love to stay and chat, but I have to go. Oh, is it that time already? Asked Tom. I'd better get my guitar. He climbed backwards down the rope ladder and Usher followed him to the ground and Johnno stood up to leave too. Wait, I said. Where are you all going? Oh, we're going to church, bro, said Johnno. Our kids club is putting on a concert and we have to go to rehearsal. What am I supposed to do? Look, stay here if you want to, said Tom. We don't mind. But we really have to go. Johnno got up from behind his drums to pace up and down the stage while the lighting was being adjusted. Tom looked up from his guitar. What's wrong with you? He asked. I think I feel bad about leaving Spud alone in the figs. What else could we do? Anthony came on stage to move microphone stands around. What else could we do about what? He asked. Leaving Spud by himself, said Johnno. He's not a baby, said Anthony, and being in the figs is what he wanted. I know that, said Johnno, but I feel like we've deserted him. Pastor Dan climbed up onto the stage. You're sounding good, guys, he said. Hey, what's wrong? We had to leave Spud in the figs, said Tom. Oh, are you worried he'll smash the treehouse again? No, he loves it too much, said Anthony. He's probably polishing the floorboards as we speak. I feel bad about leaving him there by himself, said Johnno. We're safe in here and Spud is all alone out there. Said Dan. Bit like the lost sheep, hey?
Then Jesus told them this story. If any of you has 100 sheep and one of them gets lost, what will you do? Won't you leave the 99 in the field and go look for the lost sheep until you find it? And when you find it, you'll be so glad that you'll put it on your shoulder and carry it home. Then you'll call your friends and neighbors and say, "Let's celebrate! I've found my lost sheep." Jesus said, in the same way, there is more happiness in heaven because of one sinner who turns to God than over 99 good people who don't need to. Jesus told the people another story. What will a woman do if she has 10 silver coins and loses one of them? Won't she light a lamp, sweep the floor, and look carefully until she finds it? Then she'll call in her friends and neighbors and say, "Let's celebrate! I've found the coin I lost." Jesus said, in the same way, God's angels are happy when even one person turns to Him.
Do you think the Holy Spirit is telling you something, Johnno? Asked Dan. Why did you invite Spud to the figs in the first place? We wanted to show him God's love, said Johnno. And we've been showing him for weeks, said Tom, but we haven't actually told him about God's love yet. I'm not sure how to bring it up. Why don't you invite him to be part of our concert, said Dan. We'll find something for him to do. I guess it won't hurt to ask, said Tom. Go and get him now, Johnno, said Dan. We'll wait for you. Why me? Said Johnno. Because you're the one the Holy Spirit's talking to, that's why. What if he won't come? Asked Johnno. What if he does come? Said Anthony. Well, Anthony, said Dan, slapping him on the back, he can help you at the sound desk. Anthony hung his head. I knew you were going to say that. I felt so stupid. All I had wanted was to be invited to the treehouse. I'd even wrecked it because I couldn't have it. Now I had the treehouse all to myself. And it wasn't what I wanted at all. I was lonely again. And that's when I realised how much I liked Tom and Johnno and even Usher. Decided to go home. Then I heard Johnno call my name. Spud! I stuck my head out the window and I saw him on the lawn. What? Come on! I didn't need to be asked twice. I jumped down from the figs and followed Johnno all the way to the church. Hi Cooey kids, today we're going to make damper. Now normally you would make damper at your campfire and cook it in the campfire coals, but where I'm living, it's our wet season and boy is it wet. We've had so much rain that it's flooding. So I can't find a dry campsite and certainly very hard to find dry wood. But you can cook damper at home in your oven, so that's what we're going to do today. And damper, if you don't know, is like a type of bread. And back in the olden days, swagmen would make it, and stockmen and drovers, and it would just have plain flour, a pinch of salt and water. It was very basic bread, and they used only those ingredients. It was light to carry because they travelled long distances. But of course these days we have self-raising flour, and my recipe has butter in it, which is something the swagman would have found very difficult to keep as he was on the road. You'll need 2 cups of self-raising flour, 1 tablespoon of sugar, a pinch of salt, and a tablespoon of butter, 1 cup of milk, and a little bit extra milk because you're going to glaze the top of the damper. And you'll need some plain flour just to make the damper form a ball. Okay, let's get started. I'm sieving the flour. I don't think Stockman would have had time to do this when he was taking the stock around Australia. Take a spoon of sugar. pinch of salt. Now our butter. This is the good bit because you get in and use your fingers to get that butter into the flour mixture. I guess it's more like scones these days, really, when you think about it, because this is what you do if you're making scones. Now I'm going to add the milk. Bit of plain flour, stop things sticking. Let's turn it out onto the bench now, the floured bench. Now, just to help with the cooking, you just score the top of it. Okay. That way. And with the milk, I'm just going to add some. If you want it to be fancy, you could glaze it with egg. Put that on baking paper on a tray, and I'm going to put that in the oven for 25 minutes. The oven is on 180 degrees. Smells wonderful. Now, damper is terrific with honey, but especially golden syrup. This is really good. Scrumptious and filling. What do you reckon? So give it a go.
Hey Kiwi Kids, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.